Okay, today we are going to study about the behavior of cost. When I say that we are going to study about the behavior of cost, that means we are going to study what are the different types of costs that we come across when we are doing our costing. Okay, before we proceed to the different types of cost that we come across, let us see what is our total cost made up of. When I'm talking about total cost, we are talking about, when we're talking about total cost, we are talking about our total cost of production. Production, that means when you're producing the goods. So when we are talking about total cost, we talk about total cost of production, and our total cost of production is made up by adding all the cost that I incurred. Repeating, it is made up by adding all the cost that is incurred in producing each product. So when I produce the product, whatever cost that I incur, if I add all of them, I arrive at a figure which is made up of total cost. So in accounting terms, if we see what is total cost, our total cost is a summation of our total variable cost and total fixed cost. It is a summation of total variable cost and total fixed cost. Let's see what do we mean by fixed cost. Fixed cost. You might be knowing about fixed cost a little bit. Fixed cost is the cost that remains fixed, that do not change. Exactly, it means the same thing. A cost that remains unchanged. Unchanged, that means they do not change within a certain level of activity or output. Supposingly, if I rent a factory and I am paying a rent of $10,000 per annum, that means for the entire year. So I am going to pay $10,000 for this entire year, irrespective of the fact whether I produce 10,000 units of output in this factory, or I produce 1 lakh units of output in this factory, or I produce 2 lakh units of output in this factory. So I increase the activity level, or I increase the output level, or I decrease the output level. It does not matter. The fixed cost, that is the rent that I pay for the entire year, it is going to remain unchanged. It is going to remain fixed within a certain level of activity or output. Okay. They are also sometimes called period cost because this rent covers one period, that is, it covers 1 year. Probably next year my landlord may increase the rent. Okay, he may increase the rent, then next year this fixed cost might change. So fixed cost, it remains unchanged within a certain activity level or output, or within a certain period, and they're sometimes called the period cost. If the output rises, the cost does not go up. We are talking about fixed cost. If the output falls, my fixed cost will not go down. Fixed costs will remain the same, irrespective of the number of units that I produce. You produce 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 10,000 units, it does not matter. The fixed cost would remain fixed up to a certain period or up to a certain activity level. They always remain fixed. The total fixed cost I'm talking about, they always remain fixed They do not depend upon output. Output will rise, the fixed cost will not go up. If the output falls, the fixed cost will not go down. That is why the name is there. It is called the fixed cost. Now, if I see my graph of the fixed cost, we will have a y-axis and we would have an x-axis. Okay, now the y-axis, that is this axis, it represents the total fixed cost. Okay, and the x-axis would represent the activity level or the units of output that I produce. Supposing I am incurring a total fixed cost of say 10,000. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I am incurring a total fixed cost of $10,000. My fixed cost would remain $10,000 even if I'm producing 0 units of output. If I increase the output to 10 units, the total fixed cost would still remain $10,000. If I increase the output to say 20,000 units, the total fixed cost would still remain $10,000. So this is the maximum limit. The fixed cost will remain same. You keep on increasing the output for 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 or any number of output that you produce, the fixed cost would remain same. No problem. You reduce the output or you increase the output, the fixed cost always remains the same. Okay, that is why if we discuss about the graph of the fixed cost, okay, we discuss about the graph of the fixed cost, it is a straight line which is parallel to the x-axis. So as discussed, whether the output increases or decreases, the fixed cost would remain the same. Now, when talking about the fixed cost would remain the same. So here I am talking about the total fixed cost. The total fixed cost would always remain the same. How about the unit fixed cost? The fixed cost per unit or the unit fixed cost, or I could say the fixed cost per unit. What is the situation about the unit fixed cost or fixed cost per unit? Let us see. Unit fixed cost. We already know. What do we know? That the total fixed cost will remain the same irrespective of the output. You increase the output or decrease the output. You increase the output or you decrease the output. The TFC, or I'm talking about the total fixed cost, would remain the same. Would remain the same. But however, when I'm talking about the unit fixed cost or the fixed cost per unit fixed cost keeps on reducing as the output increases. Let's take with an example. The y-axis would represent my unit fixed cost. The x-axis would represent the activity level. Okay, sorry, the y-axis would represent the fixed cost. Now let's do it with one example. Okay, supposingly I am producing 500 units and my total fixed cost is $10,000. Let's find out the unit fixed cost, $10,000 divided by the number of units that I produce. So my unit fixed cost will come up to $20. Suppose I increase the number of units to 1,000 units. See, look at the total fixed cost. The total fixed cost would remain the same. Unit fixed cost will reduce 10,000 divided by the total fixed cost divided by the number of units. So the unit fixed cost is reducing to $10 per unit. Increase the output to 2,000 units. The total fixed cost would still remain the same. The unit fixed cost would be the total fixed cost divided by the number of units. It comes up to $5 per unit. You still increase the output to 5,000 units. Total fixed cost would remain the same. However, the unit fixed cost will reduce 10,000, the total fixed cost divided by the number of units, that is 5,000 units. You have a unit fixed cost of $2 per unit. Can you draw this on a graph? If you see, as the number of units are increasing, the unit fixed cost is decreasing. That means the total fixed cost remains the same. However, the unit fixed cost keeps on reducing as the output increases. Let's plot it. Activity level, we'll say 5, 10, 15, and 20. Let's plot it as a diagram. Okay. You will talk about the activity level over here. 500, 1,000, 2,000, and 5,000. This is randomly I'm taking it. When I produce 500 units, my unit fixed cost is how much? 20. When I produce 1,000 units, my unit fixed cost is 10. When I produce 2,000 units, my unit fixed cost is 5. When I produce 5,000 units, my unit fixed cost would be 2. So if you see, the unit fixed cost graph keeps on falling as the number of units increases. As the number of units increases, the unit fixed cost reduces. If I'm producing 0 units, it will be, the unit fixed cost would be how much? It would be 10,000. Okay. So the unit fixed cost keeps on reducing as the number of units or output increases. I'm sure you're clear with this. Let's take the examples of fixed costs. The rent that I pay for a factory would remain fixed irrespective of the number of units that I produce. The salary that I receive per month would remain the same. However, it is important to note here that in the long run, the fixed cost may change. Example, the supervisor staff may get a pay rise, or the landlord may increase the rent to be paid for use of a factory. I'm pretty sure that you are now thorough with the concept of fixed cost. Okay, let's move on to an activity and see some things related to variable cost, and then we would discuss about variable cost. Take 2 minutes time to read this activity and try to do it yourself. I have given you a box which would help you. They're saying that we have a firm with a variable cost of 1 per unit. The fixed cost, this is the total fixed cost of 800. They want me to calculate the total cost for 1,000 units, for 1,500 units, and for 2,000 units, assuming the selling price is $12. Let's move ahead and see how we are going to fill it. I want to find the total cost at 1,000 units. What is the variable cost per unit? Per unit variable cost is $1. I'm going to produce 1,000 units. So what will be the total variable cost? $1 into 1,000. So the total variable cost would be $1,000. Total fixed cost always remains a fixed. So total fixed cost is $800, which is always going to remain the fixed. What about total cost? Okay, before finding out the fixed cost per unit, let's find the total cost, because that is what we are asked to find out. Our total cost is always the summation of total variable cost plus our total fixed cost. Total variable cost is 1,000. Total fixed cost is 100. So the total cost would be 1,800. Total cost is 1,800. What is the revenue? They're going to sell at $12 per unit. How many units? 1,000 units. So the revenue would be $12 per unit into 1,000, which is going to give you 12,000. What is your profit? Your revenue minus the total cost, which gives you the profit of 10,200 units. I'm pretty sure now you can find out for 1,500 units and 2,000 units. I would give you some time, say 1 or 2 minutes, to try and find out for 1,500 units and 2,000 units. So let's say firm A at 1,000 units, the variable cost per unit would remain fixed. Total variable cost would be variable cost per unit into the number of units. Total fixed cost would remain the same. Total cost is total variable cost plus the total fixed cost. That comes up to 2,300. Revenue would be $12 into the number of units. So it is coming up to 18,000. Profit is revenue minus the total cost. You're getting a profit of 15,700 units. Let's move ahead. Firm A at 2,000 units. Variable cost per unit would remain the fixed $1 per unit. Total variable cost would be the variable cost per unit into the number of units. It is coming up to $2,000. Total fixed cost always remains the same. Total cost is the summation of the total variable cost and the total fixed cost. Revenue would be $12 into 2,000 units. Profit would be revenue minus the total costs. You get a profit. I want you to find out for yourself the fixed cost per unit and write the observation that the fixed cost per unit reduces as output increases. This we've already done, so I'm not discussing it again over here. I want you to give me an observation on the variable costs, the total variable costs, and the total fixed costs. If you look very clearly, the total variable cost is increasing as output is increasing. And the total fixed cost is remaining fixed, irrespective of the number of outputs. So we can clearly observe that the total variable cost is increasing with output. If output is increasing, the total variable cost is increasing. And as output is decreasing, the total variable cost is decreasing. Okay? But it is very important to note over here is that the variable cost per unit would always remain the same. However, the fixed cost per unit will keep on changing. Total fixed cost would remain the same, but the per unit will keep on changing. Let's see the fixed cost per unit. Total fixed cost 800 incurred to produce 1000 units. So 800 divided by 1000, the fixed cost per unit when I'm producing 1000 units is 0.8. Next example, 800 divided by 1500 units, fixed cost per unit is 0.53. Next example, $800 is incurred to produce 2000 units. So fixed cost per unit would be how much? 0.4. So it is important to note over here that the variable cost per unit will always remain fixed, but the fixed cost per unit will reduce as output increases. So the total fixed cost remains the same irrespective of the output. Let's talk about the variable cost. So a cost which varies, changes in direct proportion to change in the level of output. I mean to say, if the level of output increases, the total variable cost will also increase. So both is increasing. That means it is changing in direct proportion. If the total variable costs, okay, if the output, level of output reduces, the total variable cost will also reduce. That means the cost which varies in direct proportion to the level of output. My examples of variable cost would include, see, you can see a worker that is working, and this is the material that he is using. So it could include the material costs. The more number of outputs you produce, the more material you use. The more material you use, the total variable cost will increase. Wages paid on hourly basis, the more number of hours he works, the more will be the total wages paid. So if you work more hours, you will get paid more. And this is nothing but the variable cost. Packing, the more number of units that are packed, the more will be the packing cost. So to sum up, as the output increases, the costs, the total variable cost would increase. As the output decreases, the total variable cost would decrease. Okay, so we're going to talk about direct costs. Direct costs are mostly the variable costs that are deemed, we assume that they vary, that means it changes. Okay, and here we are talking about the total direct cost. It changes in proportion to the number of units that are produced. They may sometimes be called variable costs. Direct costs may sometimes be called variable costs. For example, if 1 kg of output is required for 1 unit of production, variable cost. So 2 kgs will be required for 2 units. 10 kgs will be required for 10 units. The direct costs, more examples of direct costs would be the direct labor costs, the direct material costs. They are mostly variable, which increases with the number of output produced. However, per unit would remain fixed. Per unit would remain fixed, and the totals would vary in proportion to the number of units that you produced. Okay, so let's talk about the total variable cost. As output will increase, the total variable cost will increase, and as the output would decrease, the total variable cost would decrease. Let's plot it. We have a y-axis as a variable cost. The x-axis would represent our activity level. And this would be our graph of total variable cost. If I'm producing 0 units, the variable cost is 0. If I increase it to say 10, 15 or 20 number of units, my variable cost would increase. If I increase the activity level, the variable cost would further increase. If I increase the activity level, variable cost would further increase. So it is an upward graph which slopes upward from left to right. The graph of the total variable cost slopes upward from left to right, showing that when the output is 0, the variable cost, the total variable cost is 0. When the output increases, total variable cost increases. When the output further increases, the total variable cost further increases. So this is our graph of the total variable cost, which is an upward sloping graph from left to right. Let's discuss, say, whether fixed costs or variable costs. Salary that you pay to the workers to produce goods. If it is dependent on the output, it would be variable, but if it is fixed, then it would be fixed costs. Rent, fixed costs, salaries per month. See, they've not given any relation with goods. Fixed costs. Insurance would also be fixed costs. Raw material. More output you produce, you will use more material. So variable. Equipments, fixed costs. Hourly wages, variable costs. Shipping costs. It would always be dependent upon the number of items you ship. Variable cost. So unit variable costs would always remain fixed. However, total variable cost will increase or decrease as per production. Okay, so when we are talking about the unit variable cost, you know that the total variable cost, it varies in direct proportion to the output. Total variable cost will increase if output will increase. If the output or the units will increase, and the total variable cost will reduce if the number of units that you are going to produce will reduce. Okay, this is about the total variable cost. However, the unit variable cost, what about the unit variable cost? Can you tell me? Unit variable cost per unit, it would remain the same. It will always remain the same, as variable costs are those costs which are directly related to the production. So generally all variable costs are direct cost. Total variable cost keeps on changing, but the unit variable cost would remain the same. So if we draw a graph of the unit variable cost, the unit variable cost will remain fixed. So the graph of unit variable cost and total fixed cost is always the same. Unit variable cost will remain the fixed and total variable cost increase when output increase, decrease when the output decreases. Okay, so here we have completed with the graph of our total variable cost. Total variable cost is an upward sloping graph. Unit variable cost is fixed. Okay, and total fixed cost is also a horizontal graph. Let's do the graph of our total cost. When we're talking about the graph of our total cost, we will have the y-axis, which is a vertical line. Then we will have the x-axis, which would represent the number of units. Y-axis would represent the cost. Okay, we know that our fixed cost is always fixed. We are talking about total fixed cost, and this is the graph, the line of our total fixed cost. Total variable costs is an upward sloping graph where it increases with the number of units. If the number of units increases, total variable cost will keep on increasing. Okay, and the total cost, when we talk about total cost, it will start from this figure, this point, because the fixed cost is the cost that has to be incurred irrespective of the production. Even if you produce zero number of units, fixed cost has to be incurred. Even if you produce zero number of units, fixed cost has to be incurred. So the graph of our total cost will start from this point because this has to be incurred irrespective of production. So our total cost would be an addition of the fixed cost and the variable cost. That means if you're producing zero units, you will only incur the fixed cost. If you increase in the activity level, you would incur this cost plus you would incur this much of the variable cost. So what you will increase over here is the variable cost. So total cost is the summation of fixed cost plus variable cost, and this becomes the graph. A point. Okay, so this is our graph. If you see very clearly, our total cost is the addition of the fixed cost and variable costs. As shown clearly over here, the variable cost and the fixed cost, okay, the total variable cost and the fixed costs are running in parallel. Variable costs and fixed costs are running in parallel. Total cost will start where the fixed cost is. The total cost will start at this point, which shows that clearly showing that if the output is zero, you still have to incur this cost. The total variable cost and not the fixed cost, the total cost. The total variable cost and the total cost will always run parallel. Total cost will start where will it start? Where the fixed cost starts, clearly showing that even if the output is zero, fixed cost has to be incurred. Okay. Now, by this point of time, you should already be knowing the difference between the fixed cost and variable cost. You should already be knowing the difference between fixed cost and variable cost. Total fixed cost always remains the same. However, fixed cost per unit can increase or decrease as per the activity level. Total variable cost will increase or decrease as per the activity level. However, the variable cost per unit will always remain the same. Okay. Now we are going to know what is marginal cost. Marginal cost. Now the reason why I taught you the difference between the fixed cost and variable cost was that we need this as a very strong base when we are doing the chapter marginal costing. Let us talk about marginal cost. What is marginal cost? Marginal cost is nothing but the cost of an additional unit of output. When I talk additional unit of output, that means the cost of an extra unit of output. Tell me the activities being there, the activities is running. If I need to produce an extra unit of output, what will be the extra cost that I would incur? The extra cost that you would incur will not be nothing but the variable cost. So marginal cost is nothing but the cost of the additional unit of output, and the cost of additional unit of output will be nothing but the cost of additional input that I need to produce the output. What would be the additional input? Nothing. It is going to be the variable cost. Okay, so marginal costing is nothing but the cost of the additional unit of output, and additional unit of output is nothing but the variable cost, the cost of additional input. So by now, we already know what are the different types of costs that an organization incurs. I have discussed three costs with you. That is the variable cost, the fixed cost, and the marginal cost. I have discussed the three costs with you: variable cost, fixed cost, and marginal cost. Let's discuss it. Let's recall it. Okay. Tell me, what is the difference between a fixed or a variable cost? You can write it yourself. Giving you 2 minutes to write. Where you all will tell me the difference between total fixed cost per unit, and variable cost, total variable cost, and variable cost per unit. You should clearly know about this. Also, you should be able to classify all these into variable cost and fixed cost. This would be the variable cost. Rent will always remain fixed for a particular period. Fixed cost. Salaries, fixed cost. Insurance, fixed cost. Raw materials, variable cost. Equipment, fixed cost. Hourly wages, variable cost. Okay, so we've already done with this. Okay, now you all need to know the meanings of all these types of costs. We've already discussed fixed cost, variable cost, and marginal cost. You can try to look up for the different types of cost, that is semi-variable cost, sunk cost, stepped up cost, and absorption cost. Okay, we will discuss about this cost in the next lecture. But right now, let's concentrate on the marginal costing. What are we concentrating on? Marginal costing. So you know what is marginal costing or the marginal cost? Marginal means one extra. So marginal costing is the cost to produce one extra unit of output. Can you tell me, to produce one extra unit of output, what will be the cost that you would incur? To produce an extra unit, I would incur variable costs. So when we talk about marginal costing, we talk about variable cost. To produce an extra unit, we need the variable cost. So marginal costing basically tells us the extra cost that you incur to produce the extra unit of output. Marginal costing deals with the extra cost that you incur to produce the extra unit of output. And the cost of producing one extra unit of output is what? Cost of producing the extra unit of output is the variable cost. So when we talk about marginal cost, what are we talking about? We are talking about the variable cost. Marginal cost, cost to produce the extra unit. Or I could say marginal cost is the extra cost to produce extra unit of output. Extra cost to produce extra unit of output. And the extra cost to produce the extra unit of output is the variable cost. So marginal cost is the extra cost to produce extra output. Extra cost to produce extra unit of output is nothing but variable cost. So when I talk about marginal costing, I'm talking about variable cost. When I'm talking about marginal costing, I'm talking about the variable cost. Okay. So what is marginal costing? Marginal cost is the cost of making an extra unit of output. Marginal cost is the cost of making an extra unit of output. Now you should already be knowing this, that the variable cost per unit is always fixed. Fixed cost per unit is variable. This thing is something that I'm looking for. Now can you tell me, can you give your conclusions about variable cost? Can you give your conclusion about variable cost? Variable cost changes with the level of output. Variable cost will change with the level of output. Okay, what about as output increases, the total variable cost will? Tell me, if the output increases, the total variable cost will increase. If output decreases, the total variable cost will decrease. When output is 0, total variable cost will be 0. Okay, so this we are talking about total variable cost. What about variable cost per unit? Variable cost per unit will always remain the same. Variable cost per unit will always remain the same. Similarly, can you give your conclusion about fixed cost? Fixed cost does not change with the level of output. Fixed cost does not change with the level of output because as the output increases, total fixed cost would remain same. Output decreases, total fixed cost would remain the same. When output is 0, total fixed cost will remain the same. Okay? Fixed cost within a certain range, fixed cost remains unchanged as output increases or decreases. Okay? However, what about fixed cost per unit? It will increase or decrease. Output increases, fixed cost per unit will decreases. And if output decrease, fixed cost per unit will increase. So if we produce an extra unit, dash will increase. These are your options. Variable cost, fixed cost, both variable cost and fixed cost are none of it. Variable cost, very well. If we produce an extra unit, the variable cost will increase. So marginal costs usually comprises of the extra material costs, the extra direct material costs, the extra direct wages, the extra direct expenditure, or other extra variable costs, and any extra administration costs that arises when there is an increase in the level of production. And everything should be per unit. Everything should be per unit when I'm talking about marginal cost. Let's do it with an example. I need to know the marginal cost per unit. Can you give me the marginal cost per unit? Okay. To produce 100 units, what is the variable cost? 1000. To produce 1101 units, what is the variable cost? 1010. So what is the extra cost to produce the extra unit? Extra unit is this one. 100 units, 1000. 101 units, that extra 1 unit, 1010. So to produce one extra unit, the extra cost to produce is how much? It is $10. Okay. Similarly, to produce 101 units, cost is 6010. Or we would say the variable cost is 1010. To produce 102 units, the variable cost is 1020. So what is the extra cost? The extra cost is 10. So the marginal cost will also be 10. Here, to produce this extra 1 unit, what is the extra cost that I'm incurring? 10. So the marginal cost would be 10. So what is extra cost called? Extra cost is called marginal cost. and marginal cost is nothing but the variable cost. We will do this as an homework. It is a past paper question 9706/23/October-November 20. You need to define the terms variable cost, semi-variable cost, fixed cost, and 3 assumptions that you use when using the marginal costing. We would start our video number 2 with this past paper question. For now, thank you.